One of the craziest things about Miami right now is how expensive it is to live here. And cars are getting repoed, insurance is going up, taxes are going up. It's wild. Now, I'm walking through my neighborhood. I'm in Coral Gables, Florida here, and I just saw a car across the street get repossessed because this person missed their payment. I did know that they were missing their payments. They reached out and they're like, hey, I can't make my payments anymore, so if you see something, my car is going to get repossessed. And sure enough, today that happened. And what a wild thing to see. They didn't really fight it or anything. They kind of just came outside and put their hands on their hips and watched the car get towed away. So luckily, no big event or anything like that goes on. But yeah, it's crazy. So cars are getting repossessed. Credit card bills, I know credit card bills are at an all-time high. Consumer debt is super high right now. Now, the interest rates, of course, are very, very high. Now, interest rates are uncapped, right? So there's no maximum amount of interest rate that a credit card company or a bank can charge you for having a balance. So some of these people are paying 25% interest on, let's say, $10,000. I can't do the math in my head, but that's a ton of money over the course of the year. And to earn 25% on your money, even in the investment world, is super hard to do. So when you're at 25% interest on a credit card and you're trying to make that payment and also invest to pay other things off and just build your life, people get stuck in this spiral of uncontrollable debt. And I know a lot of people are there right now. And just like the car repossession, people are missing monthly payments on their credit cards. What's that doing? That's lowering their credit score a ton. A ton. If you miss a payment on a credit card, it lowers your credit score a ton. Now, we see a lot of people, I'm in the real estate industry, we see a lot of people when they apply for mortgages that do have bad credit because they missed a payment. People can just not keep up with the world and they're not earning enough, and it's troublesome. I know some people are also leaving Miami altogether. Right? They're like, it's way too expensive here. I can't buy a property. I can go to Texas and get a property for $400,000. Down here, $400,000 is like a half of a bedroom, if you know what I mean. So it's been crazy to hear people's stories on that. If people don't own properties, rent is becoming an issue, right? A one-bedroom in Brickell for $3,000 a month, crazy. Some people can't afford it. They're missing their payments. And it's crazy that some people just want to move here, right? Because they're like, okay, it's Miami, it's hot, it's in the news. But then all of a sudden, they're stuck in this pickle. Like, their job is only paying them $80,000. They don't have any connections to get a better job, whatever the case may be. And then they start missing the payments. And then from there, it's like that spiral that we just talked about. It's the missed payments, it's the car payments, it's the credit cards, all those things, right? So once you're trapped in there, and it's an interesting scenario. But look at this house right here. Look at these trees. This is a gorgeous house. Natural, real, live plant right here. Wow, such a beautiful tree. I'm just trying to find some light in all this dark stuff we're talking about right now. In my city, particularly Coral Gables, just raised our taxes. I think it went up like 2% on property taxes or something. Wild. We already have one of the highest tax rates around the Miami-Dade area. So interesting there. Insurance, a lot of people that own condos, right? Insurance for these condo buildings and just for houses in general, skyrocketing every year, year after year. You can almost guarantee that insurance is going to increase substantially in Florida with all the hurricanes going on. So Citizens is the big insurer down here, and it's actually insolvent. And they're like, for my house, they said if you have insurance, if you get an insurance quote from another company that's within 10% of what you pay us, you have to take that other option, because they want to be insurers of last resort, right? So they're kicking everybody out of the Citizens insurance portfolio, and you have to move to another company. Now, my premium went up like 15%, right? It's like $8,000 or something. and I have impact windows. I have all the necessary like things to keep my insurance low. So that's crazy. Condo owners are getting crushed. The HOA fees are going up like nuts, the taxes, insurance, all these things. But on the end of this, imagine having a kid, right? I don't have kids and I'm about to have kids. But with all these struggles going on in life, imagine adding a kid on top of that, right? You have to take care of the kid. You have to pay for the kid, diapers, food, schooling, all these other things, right? It just becomes overwhelming for a lot of people. And then they get trapped and stuck. Then they end up moving from Florida because they can't make it work. I'm originally from Wisconsin, and I mean, you pay like $1,000 a month in rent up there, and that's for a decent place. So it's wild down here. Excuse me, the differences. But let's go into how things are going to get better, though, right? I know it's stressful. I know this life is sometimes tricky, right? It's like you're fighting an uphill battle all the time. And what I want to say is things will get better, right? Just keep doing what you love. If you love to play video games, play video games. If you love to hang out with your family, hang out with your family. If you love to eat food and make food and go out to restaurants and all those things, go out to those places, right? Don't stop doing what you love. It's going to get better on the other side of all this madness. And I'm really trying to grow this channel here. So please like and subscribe. It's my goal to get a good following on YouTube. I have a great following on Instagram. I think we got 7,500 people. I'm always posting interesting stuff. So go check out my Instagram. It's at Alec Mancheski. But also please subscribe here. I want to be the happiness and the light in your day through all these tough times here. Now, let's talk about a story. There was a gentleman I know that moved down here, and he was really struggling. He just had a kid, and he's like, Alec, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, he's renting a condo in Brickell. He's like, I spend $5,000 a month on rent. I said, 5,000, that's a ton for a one bedroom. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. It was in a really nice building. It was in the Flatiron. So he's like, Alec, what do I do? And I was like, okay, well, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. He goes, okay, I'm at that spot. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm like, the longer you can wait to receive like good things or money, the greater the reward is gonna be on the back end. So stop paying $5,000 a month in rent and go buy a house. He's like, well, I can't buy a house in a good area. I said, well, yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice, right? Go buy a house. So he bought a house in Kendall, a cheap little thing in Kendall, $600,000, and he pays less there than he does in rent, or did in rent, but him, his wife, and his baby, they're happy. They're happy. And he knows that he's not gonna be there for long, maybe 2 years, he'll sell it. And he actually just got a new job. And he went from making, I forget how much it was, maybe 100,000, I think, a year. Now he makes 150. Wow, yeah. He's somewhere in the tech space, kind of working for like startups. I think he works for a fintech company. But anyways, that was super cool for him, and I'm super excited for him because he's kind of changing things around. He's willing to make that sacrifice. Now that house that I was talking about, right? It doesn't have like the newest countertops and the newest cabinets and all these things, but he's getting started. He had to make that sacrifice. And I went through my sacrificing years. I spent $110,000 on my first condo. It was a total dump. It was an absolute dump. And I was able to sell it because there was no inspection on it. If there was an inspection on it, there probably would have been an inspector in there realizing that it's right above the garage for the entire building. Every morning and night after the 9-to-5ers came, it'd open 100 times and just vibrate my floor and go, it was the craziest thing ever, right? So everybody's got to make those sacrifices. You got to start somewhere. I implore you to get out there, just get started. Like I said, there's light on the other side. Play the video games, eat the food, eat the candy, whatever you got to do. You're going to make it through this. Cheers. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. The cost of living in Miami is out of control, but it's going to get better.